So this lady on TikTok has something to say.
A city without walls will not stand. A nation without borders will not stand. It will destroy. I don't think anybody understand. I don't think many people understand what is going on, but the barbarians, they are within the gates. Don't come for me saying, oh, what barbarians? You're calling people barbarians. There's two sets of immigration that's going on right now. There's an immigration that's prior to 2020, and then there's an immigration after 2020. Actually, three sets, because there was a point of immigration from right after 9/11 up until like the Obama era. That's also another set of immigration. And because your politicians will not tell you, let me expound on what's really going on. Besides the spiritual components of when you import foreign entities into your land, right? Let me explain a little bit. They are going to make America a third world nation, a third world country nation, if people don't stand up and actually do actions. That's why you got to pay attention to the people that you're voting in.
I have to be honest, I do agree. I don't want any first world country to become a third world country. I lived in one, and it wasn't exactly like the general third world country that people are coming from, because at least in that country, we like the cops. We like accountability. It's just a little different. But the one thing we do understand on that island is assimilation is important. If we leave the country or if you come to the country. My father told me if you go to Holland, you got to integrate. You need to speak the language and you need to understand their culture. Dilo, remember to subscribe.
That's why you got to pay attention to the people that you're voting in. One of the things that the Democratic Party is focusing on right now is, if you notice, they're pulling away from abortions, they're pulling away from LGBT, they're pulling away from inclusivity, but they're focusing on other areas that will allow immigration. The problem is not with legal immigration. The problem is we are dealing with illegal immigration. That guy in the middle of Manhattan saying his declarations and proclamation of Allah is just a token of a clarion call that was ignited in all other cities across the nation.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
As a Christian, if I say the same thing, I'm a bad person. If you are part of this religion or immigrant or whatever, and you say it to your own, you might be a traitor. But as the same person that comes from another country, if you say that to a liberal left-leaning person, the probability is very right they might say this.
Before I would go to council and I would see that they would expect it and they understand me. But now they will be like, oh, in your culture it happens, so adapt to it.
Because why do you think he has so much confidence? Why do you think he has so much position and authority to do that? In the middle of Manhattan. New York City is the capital, the finance capital city of the world. Did y'all forget what's really going on? This was get people over, infiltrate the communities, get into government, and then conquer the people. I don't think y'all understand what's really going on. And while many of you guys were saying that, oh, we don't want Christians in our schools, and we don't want Christians, and we don't want Christians teaching our children, and we don't want Christians, la, 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 la. The one thing about Christians is we don't impose on other people, the biblical Christian. Because what you don't realize is the amount of illegal people that entered, that infiltrated this country, is going to turn down this country if something is not done. These people came from places where they had to be savages. See, when y'all travel, y'all love to go to the tourist part. How come y'all don't go to the inner country and really see how these people live?
Yeah, see, now it's going to get a little heavy duty.
Or they have no morality, and they definitely don't have no boundaries when it comes between your life in their life.
You voted for this. UK brought like kind of the third world to their own country, at first saying that it was very bad. Now it's a good thing. It's not happening, just a little. Oh my god, nobody's complaining because you kept banning them, but now it's a good thing. The clips are so easy to find that we find some people saying we feel threatened, we have the right to walk on street with machete. Like, since when? You can't even do that on any other
Because it's not only the government system, the corporations, they need to have a complete overhaul. Why? Because they're a part of the problem too. At the same time, on the face value, it looks like they're not for illegal immigration, but they have been. They're the one who's been funding it the whole time. Who you think they hiring like that? It ain't the American people. Look at all the other countries right now that are starting to, they've been tightening up on their security when it comes to immigration. These people know what's going on. And the fact of the matter is you have a lot of countries around the world. They seen what was going on and they looked the other way because they want the demise of this country. Because what y'all don't understand is the United States is actually in their way of a lot of plans that they're trying to do, quote unquote, what is it called? A multipolarizing system. They don't want no multipolarizing system for real. They want the demise of the empire that ran for 100+ years. And many of y'all are helping them. Let me ask you a question. Many of these people that infiltrated illegally, they have countries to go back home to. Do you? Do you?
That's true. That's actually true. Some say, well, if this doesn't work out, I can just go back. I committed a crime here, I can just go back, start new. I'm not saying some don't have consequence, but I've heard the phrase, I can always go back. I'm used to that. Most people that are in a first world country have no idea. I'm comfortable living like a third world person, but I know a lot of first world people cannot live like me.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Dur loqueta verdetta welcome.